terrible ankle injury last year, and he's doing backflips at the at Fanatics there. I guess Steve was there rooting him on or something, Stevie? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, how about John Harbaugh over his milk and cookies before he hits the sack at 9 o'clock? He likes to see this as starting running back. I mean, my God almighty, then he falls down on top of it. I mean, I understand, and I like him. I loved him out of Arizona State. I loved him. He's got a lot of character. He's transferred from Sacramento State. I'm a fan. But this is beyond stupid. He had a ripped ankle. The guy couldn't. He was a major surgery. You got training camp coming up. Don't do anything dumb like that. Take it easy in front of the fans on a platform. Oh, my God, did that drive me crazy, Jason?
Nothing wrong with it. That's like telling Mad Dog to come on here and stop screaming. That is Cam Scatterbull. He is going to do that. He's going to run through brick walls. He's going to do backflips. That is him. It doesn't matter.
Even if it's before training camp or a major injury?
As long as he shows up and he's playing on Sundays, flip, run in traffic, do whatever you do, Cam Scatterbull.
He was talking about the Giants' second-year running back, the starting running back, Cam Scatterbull, who suffered a pretty serious injury as a rookie last year. But he's nuts, this guy. He goes to all these crazy events and gets into scuffles and does all this stuff like he did on stage up in Fanatics Fest last week. And, you know, people are like, that's Cam, man. That's what he does. Giants and Jets, believe it or not, opening training camp next week. We're here, folks. Football is right around the corner. So while the Mets continue to lose and lost to the Brewers last night, Milwaukee, for what it's worth, with the win over the Mets last night, they've now gone past the Dodgers as the best record in baseball. Milwaukee Brewers and the Yankees get a big win over Pittsburgh. Football is here. Who better to talk to than the world's biggest Jets fan, WFAN legend, and now weekly Sid Rosenberg contributor, my former midday partner at the Fan, the amazing Joe Benigno. Joseph, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Sydney Arthur. How are you, bro? By the way, isn't it amazing how the Brewers have gotten better since Stearns left? It's unbelievable. My team got worse, and you know, it is stiff Stearns, and you know, the Brewers have gotten better. It's wonderful.
There you have it. The Met GM leaves Milwaukee, best record in baseball, comes to the Mets. We can't win a game. Well, I want to get back to the Mets because I found out something this morning I didn't know. You knew it, of course, because you're a sports guy.
Well, we don't know.
No, I didn't know. But I want to get to what Russo was saying about Cam Scatterbull. And
Yep.
What do you think about that, Cam doing all that crazy stuff at Fanatics Fest last week?
Well, that's what, you know, look, I mean, I don't think I'd be too thrilled about it if I'm a Giant fan. I mean, a guy coming off a major injury and all of that. But that's what he is. I mean, that's, like he said, you go back to when he was at Arizona State, you love the way he was. I mean, he's a tremendous player. You know, he's fearless and to a fault. So I wouldn't be too happy about it, but as long as he didn't hurt himself, I guess it's okay. I'm sure Harbaugh wasn't too happy about it.
Now, next week, the Giants and your team, the Jets, training camp start. Here we go. Just a couple of months away from week 1 of the 2026 NFL season. What are you looking for? You know, look, I've been to these training camps many years. You're still going. And, you know, for the most part, it was pretty dreadful. You know? But what are you looking for from our two local teams, especially early on in training camp?
Well, I'll start with your team. I'll start with the Giants. I mean, I think the Giants are going to be good. I mean, I said this before. I know you got the injury to Malik Neighbors, and that's an issue, no doubt about it.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there because I think they're going to be good too. But as good as Jackson Dart is, you need somebody to throw the football to. They lost Robinson. They didn't really acquire a big-time free agent. So if they're not Malik Neighbors, how could they be really good with a very, a pretty slim wide receiving core?
Yeah, look, I mean, I still think they are. You got the quarterback, you got the coach. I think the defense is going to be much better. You know, they've made moves on defense. I think they're going to be pretty good, Sid. They got the kid from Ohio State, Reese. They drafted the kid with the trade they made for Dexter Lawrence. What a steal that was. And they get this offensive lineman from Miami. I just think they're going to be a much better team. I really do. I think they got a chance to win the division. I mean, we'll see whether Neighbors comes back or not.
I would say this. They're not going to win the division because I'm with you. They'll be a much better team. I love Harbaugh. I love Dart. You mentioned all their great moves.
You still think the Eagles are better? Maybe Dallas?
The Eagles are not as good. A.J. Brown is now a New England Patriot, and you can't trust Dak Prescott to win big games. He's got great numbers, and he's a pretty good quarterback.
Well, I think you can't trust the Dallas defense. I think that's their bigger issue than Dak.
Yeah, but
Prescott.
Dak always finds a way to make a bad play in the fourth quarter. it too. Either way, if Neighbors is not healthy and doesn't give the Giants what they need, they're not winning the division, bottom line.
Okay. You give him 9 wins, you give him 10 wins, you give him 7 wins.
If Neighbors plays, 13, 12 or 13 games, they can win 10 or 11. I don't know. But, you can't expect them to be really good without any real threat. As far as I know, you may know more than me, at wide receiver.
Yeah. No, they don't have a lot. I mean, I know they brought Beckham back, but he's going to get hurt 3 weeks. He'll get hurt 3 weeks into the season.
And Jalen Hyatt runs down the field in about 3 seconds, but never catches the football.
He never catches the ball, right? Good deep threat.
The Giants do have, which I should have mentioned, and I shouldn't just let it go. They have very good pass-catching tight ends.
They do. They got the guy from Baltimore, Isaiah Likely, who was a very good player. I thought that was an outstanding move bringing him in. Again, I still think they're going to be better than you think. I really do, Sid. And we'll see whether Neighbors comes back or not. But I got a lot of confidence in the head coach. You got a real head coach there. And I think this quarterback's going to be a star.
Oh, listen, again,
as long as he stays healthy, he's got to stay healthy.
Right. I think they'll be a winning football team. So I don't think you think they're going to be better than I think. They're going to be a winning football team,
right?
But they can't be really good, double-digit wins, beat out the Eagles if Neighbors doesn't give them a whole bunch. That's my only point.
Probably true. Probably right.
Now, what about the Jets?
Well, I mean, look, I think the Jets are going to be better. I mean, I like what the GM. I really like what Darren Muji, the GM, has done. I question the head coach, but I want to see the head coach make it, bro. I'm tired of the revolving door of a new head coach for the Jets every 2 or 3 years. So. But I don't have a lot of confidence in him. But I like what Muji's done. I think he did a great job in the draft. I think he did a really good job with free agency. And I'll tell you what I want to see. Obviously, Geno Smith's going to start the season at quarterback. But I want to see this kid, Klubnik. They drafted him in the 4th round. Muji traded up 18 spots to get him. He started 4 years at Clemson. Big program. Dabo Swinney, top coach there. I want to see this kid. I mean, I want to see whether or not at some point, maybe 10 games into the season, whatever it is, I want to see this kid play. I want to see if they got a quarterback or not. They got 3 first-round draft choices again next year. Who knows? Maybe you hit the jackpot with him, and you don't have to draft a quarterback next year. So, to me, I want to see this kid play. I think the Jets are going to be better. I definitely do think they can't be worse than 3 wins. I mean, they weren't even an NFL team last year. They had a quarterback that couldn't even throw a pass. I mean, come on. So, Geno at least can throw the ball. Needs to stay out of trouble. There's no doubt about it. But, look, they'll be better. I want to see them, like I keep saying, I don't expect the playoffs or anything crazy like that. I want to see them at least in the hunt in December. Like they're still in the season on December 1st. Is that too much to ask?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It is too much to ask because the Bills are still going to be good as long as they've got that quarterback. Right. The Pats, I don't care about the coach. They added A.J. Brown. They went to the Super Bowl last year.
The Pats are going backwards.
So, no, they're still going to be really good, much better than the Jets. Much better. So the Jets are fighting Miami not to come in last. Basically. So I think it is asking too much. And look, you told me you love my coach, John Harbaugh. I think I had, 20 conversations with you last year about how absolutely inept Aaron Glenn is. Right.
But again, yes. But, and I don't think he's going to be the coach long term, but I hope he is, Sid, because I'm tired. I said this. Every 3 years we got a new head coach here. You can't sustain anything if that's the case. And I at least think the general manager has a real idea what he's doing. I do really feel that. And we'll see what happens with Glenn.
All right.
But, they can't be worse than they will.
No, they can't be worse. They'll be better with a veteran quarterback in Geno. All right, pretty optimistic, Joe Benigno, on the Locals football season coming up. So I found out this morning that when the Mets fired Carlos Mendoza,
right,
the guy that you've been talking about every day since, they offered him the job, and he said no thanks. Carlos Beltran.
Did he say no? Is that definitely true?
Look it up this morning. It has become official that he was concentrating on his Hall of Fame induction coming up this summer and didn't want to take the job as the Mets interim manager.
Well, that's interim.
Yes.
I think if they were to go to him and say, we want you to be our full-time manager, I think he's taking the job. I think so. Interim is one thing because, what are you? You're a stopgap. But I think he wants the job full time, and I think he'll take it.
Why do you think?
I would want to see it.
Why do you think they only? Why do you think they only offered him the interim manager job? Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't give you an answer to that. I can't give you. I mean, they're going to retire his number in a couple of weeks. You know, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I hope he get. I'm watching Sports Night right now on SNY. They're talking about Beltran. I don't know what they're saying.
Well, here it is. No, here it is right here. Carlos Beltran will be formally inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this upcoming Sunday. Ahead of the ceremony, he revealed that he recently turned down the manager.
It was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that right now. Yep. But I still think if you give him a full-time job, he's taking it.
Well, now it says that they did give him the full-time job, manager.
Okay, well.
And he still didn't take it.
I guess he doesn't want it. So what are you going to do?
If
it's funny. He doesn't want it, but I like him.
I like him too, and I had Darryl Strawberry on this program for 40 minutes yesterday. The truth is we spoke more about Jesus and addiction issues than we did baseball. Mm-hmm. But, the Mets came out this week and said there are 5 guys we're not trading. Now 5, that's it. You got Christian Scott, Juan Soto, Ewing, Benji, and McClain. That's it. Everybody else is up for sale. And Strawberry said on this show with me yesterday, well, you need to add Lindor to that list. And I said, no. I can't stand the guy. I can't stand his wife. And Strawberry said, Sid, take the politics out of it. When his head is healthy, he's one of the best shortstops in the game. So Strawberry with a huge endorsement of Lindor on this show yesterday. But I remain steadfast in my opinion. No thanks. I think I agree with the 5 players the Mets want to keep.
100%. I'm with you on those guys. I'm also the kid Zach Thornton. I want to see him too. All right, I think he's pitching tonight. I want to see Thornton pitch the lefty. Looks like they may have something with him. I wouldn't trade Clay Holmes either, Sid. I actually would give Clay Holmes an extension because I think he's been very good. That's the one move that the genius Stearns has made that's really worked out. And you look at these young guys. You mentioned Scott. You mentioned McClain. I throw Thornton in there. You give me Clay Holmes. That's not a bad rotation going forward.
No.
That's a pretty decent rotation going into next year with young guys. So I would keep Clay Holmes as well. As far as Lindor's concerned, it's time to go. And he's been a very good Met. I've warmed up to him as a player, but I think it's addition by subtraction now for Lindor. I think he's a problem in the clubhouse. I think he's been a problem in the clubhouse. You go back to, when Baez was here and that whole thing against the fans with the thumbs down, the issues he had with Jeff McNeil, right? That whole thing with the squirrel. They were fighting in the clubhouse, whatever went down there. There's a lot of rumors that, one of the reasons that, Alonso and Nimmo and these guys are gone is because of a political riff with Lindor. We know he doesn't like Soto. He doesn't get along with Soto as it is now. You probably couldn't trade him at the deadline, but I think at the end of the season you got to look to see if you can move him.
I agree. I agree with you. Zach Thornton is pitching against the Brewers later on tonight for the Mets.
And who's pitching for them? The kid that they traded for Peralta, Sproat, is pitching for the. He's, by the way, Peralta, get him out of here fast. He can't get out of here freaking fast enough, Sid.
He'll be
another
gone.
Brilliant move by the genius.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone, and Bo Bichette will be back in Toronto probably in about a day or so.
So I don't know if honestly he's got an opt out that's his opt out, and he's meant for like $40 million. I don't know if he's leaving, Sid. I don't know if he's leaving. I'm not so sure about that. I got mixed feelings about him. Whether I want to see him going forward or not with the Mets.
I kind of like him. I kind of like Bo Bichette.
I got mixed feelings.
Yeah, me too. So the last thing here, so I get this phone call from Joe on Sunday morning. He's with his beautiful wife, Terry.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he said, I just read Michael Goodwin's column in the New York Post.
Michael Goodwin and Miranda Devine are just tremendous.
The 2 best columnists in the world, and they're on the show all the time. And he said, Sid, tell me more about J.D. Vance. And I spent the next 10 minutes giving Joe the history lesson on why I don't like J.D. Vance, and I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, Marco Rubio. Now, again, don't get me wrong. If it's J.D. Vance versus Kamala Harris, I'm voting for J.D. Vance, right? Or any Democrat, I'm taking J.D. against. But he is at best, my 5th choice for the Republicans. I don't like him. And after you read what you read from Michael Goodwin on Sunday, Joe, you sounded a little scared, to be honest.
I was a little disappointed to read that. I mean, I didn't realize that, he seems like he's not exactly thrilled with Israel. I don't think he loves Netanyahu. That kind of I'm bothered by that. I can't tell you I'm not, And remember, when I said this to you, initially J.D. did not like Don. he came out against Don, and way back when, before, well before he kind of made the transition, and Don took him as the VP. So I like Rubio better. I clearly do. I think he's really got something. There's something about him. He's got that presidential feel to him that I don't think JD has, to be very honest with you. So. But, of course, I mean, look, if JD's running against Kamala or AOC or, Gavin Newsom or any of these disasters on the other side, obviously I'm voting for him.
You're still happy with the president? I've been a little critical of the president lately, the Iran stuff, Turkey, but I still love him, and he could not have been nicer to me when he saw me Saturday night in New Jersey.
Now, can I say this on the air?
Sure.
Now, I couldn't believe you told me something the other day that I was shocked to hear. Okay, shocked. You told me you voted for Hillary Clinton.
That's correct.
What were you thinking at that point?
I was thinking that here comes this TV guy that I like. I knew President Trump. He was on my sports talk radio shows for years. Right. He's got a hat on. He's going to build a wall. That's all he's got. After the disaster was Barack Obama, I can't trust this country with this TV guy. So you know that after he won, he was in office a little less than a year, and he came on with me and Bernard. And Bernard was still alive, God rest his soul. And I told Trump on the air, hey, Alec, get this audio. It's actually pretty good from 2018. I told Trump on the air, I go, President Trump, we know each other a long time. Oh, yeah. I didn't vote for you. So when the interview was over, about 10 minutes later, all Trump kept saying was, hey, Bernie, how about the fact I got him? I got him back. You see, he was so happy that he converted me from a guy that did not vote for him to now a guy that he loves. I mean, him and I are good friends. He loved that, but I didn't trust that President Trump could be a really good politician. But I knew 3 months after that, I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you know how I feel about him. I'd like to see him end this Iran thing. You and I have talked about that. I think it's time to take them completely out. You don't think he will do that until after the midterms, right? I mean, it's basically what you told me.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's been 10 straight nights. We're hitting him hard. I don't know if we do anything that's really over the top until after November. I don't know. I think Trump is really upset. We just lost 3 servicemen, and he's pissed. So I don't know at this point what he does. I really don't.
There's more. I've even seen where there's more servicemen that have been wounded.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I saw that too.
But let me say one thing. I want to say one thing about it. I'm not a soccer guy, I could care less. But I got to say this about the World Cup, okay? The job that this country did with this World Cup, I think, was just tremendous. There was no incidents at all. There was no violent incidents, nothing along those lines. You didn't hear a word about that. It seems like it was flawlessly pulled off, okay? No doubt about it. I mean, I think it made money for this country. Obviously, you had all these people come in from Europe and all over loving it. They're going to Chick-fil-A, they're going to Cracker Barrel, and they're having a good old time. The United States is fabulous. So I want to give our country, give the president, give everybody who ran this thing, give them credit for really pulling off a big deal.
Couldn't agree more. I was glued, never liked soccer, never, ever, glued to every second down the stretch. My dear friend Andrew Giuliani was on this show yesterday. He was really the guy that did it, so he's the guy that gets all the credit, most of the credit at least.
By the way, did these games ever end? What is? Could you imagine if we had like stoppage time in the NFL, bro? No, seriously, no, really. Yeah. So the game's over, but you know what? We got another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never figure out exactly.
And we'll let you know when the game's over. What is that?
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
I can't follow it either. I had no idea how much time was left in any of these games.
Know. Oh, they put up 9 minutes of stoppage time. Great. Now 9 minutes goes by. We're still playing. I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh, my God. It's funny. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I have no idea. And these games, I mean, come on. Can somebody score a goal? I mean, here you got this massive freaking net, right? It's not like a hockey net. Massive freaking net. Nobody could put this damn ball in the freaking net.
Well, if you watch a game on Saturday for third place.
Yeah, I know. It was 6-4. I know.
10 goals, France and England. So you got plenty of that.
I don't think they were really killing themselves.
I don't think so either. Mbappe had a big game. I got to run, Joe Benigno. As always, you're amazing. I love you. Give my love to Terry. We'll do it again next week. You're awesome, Joseph. Thank you.
All right, God bless, bro. All the love.
You too. There he is, WFAN legend, still on every Saturday morning on The Fan, and now weekly Sid Rosenberg contributor, the amazing Joe Benigno.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?